All right, guys, welcome into the Ordinary Fantasy Pod. My name is Ben Conroy. I am your host. With me, as always, Nathan Boudreau and my brother, Matt Conroy. Guys, welcome in. It's week 16. The second round of the playoffs are here, guys. Man, I am not a happy camper, but I'm here for you guys. I'm doing this podcast for you guys. It was a chore to get here, but congratulations, brother, on the victory. We're going to come right out of the gate with this. Yeah, I lost the rubber match back to back. Lost it in the Dynasty as well. I'm officially the double rubber match. I'm officially out of fantasy football. That's why it was hard to get me here today. I was like already checked out. I was on to something else already. But I'm happy to be here with you guys.
We're glad you're here. We're glad you're
here.
Yeah.
You guys, how was well, Matt? You had a hell of a weekend. And Nathan, how was your weekend?
You know what? For the most part, it was pretty good. I got knocked out of one of my two entries into Guillotine League. I got knocked out. I had a bye week in our Dynasty League, but during the bye week, it wasn't the best of weeks for me. I lost Michael Pittman to injury, Jamar Chase to injury. It looks like Kelsey might have suffered an injury. So going into this round of the playoffs, my team's going to be a lot weaker than it was a week ago. So.
Yeah. Sorry I couldn't pull off the win against Bobby. I did my best. I tried. I could not get it done for you. Brother, I'll let you talk about your weekend. I know I don't want to hear about it, but how was your weekend in football? I know you play in multiple leagues. You don't have to just brag about winning in our main league. How was the rest of your time?
Yeah, good. I got knocked out of the playoffs in one of my sleeper leagues, but made it in all the rest, or the three other that I was still in. Plus, I advanced in the Scott Fishbowl league. I'm doing that side league in that, and I'm in the I think quarterfinals now. So I'm still hoping I get into that big league next year. That'd be so exciting. And then yeah, dude, it's fun playing you in the main league. Third time playing this season, and you kicked my ass once. I kicked your ass once, and we almost tied the third. So yeah, it's been a good season. Been a good season.
It looked like for a while that, Ben, at least on Saturday night when we were at your Christmas party, you had some players that had already played. It looked like you had a good chance this week to beat Matt. And really, it came down to Christian McCaffrey's crazy day, 44 points, whatever.
Seriously,
it was. And as a Niner fan, it must be sort of like just a double-edged sword. You're rooting for every touchdown, but each touchdown is pulling you further and further away from playoffs, right?
Of course I am. Of course I'm rooting. Although in a game like that, it was just like, really, does he need another one? Like we were gonna win the game regardless. So like, it was just. No, I was happy for them, but we didn't need him. I didn't need him to pour it on like the way he did. I mean, catching touchdowns, running backwards, falling into the end zone because it's so easy. Nobody's around. He can just get back up and run into the end zone. Come on. Do I need those ones? I don't need those ones.
Yes, we do.
But, I know the feeling because in the Guillotine League, I was up. I had a couple of point lead, and it was the afternoon games, and there was barely any time left on the clock. And then Purdy threw that totally unnecessary touchdown to Debo. And Debo caught it, and Bobby had both Purdy and Debo pass me in Guillotine. And I was like, well, that's it. I have no players left. So it's always a double-edged sword. But, of course, I'm always rooting for my team first and foremost.
No, of course.
Always.
I mean, like you said, I had some really strong performances from guys like Jordan Addison with 30 and Adams finally – Devontae getting 24 for me. I thought I was going to be, pretty good, but yeah, the rest of my team shit the bed. Nobody over double digits really, and can't win when that happens. Nope. So once again, brother, congratulations. And so you take on. Well, we're gonna get to that right now. I was gonna pull it up on my phone, but my iPad just died, so here it is. We're going to talk some main league playoffs first, guys. Alex and Jeff are going to be taking on each other, and Sean and Matt are going to be taking on each other, it looks like. And in the costume bowl, we got Bobby versus Justin. So I'm going to let you guys kind of break it down and tell me what you guys like about these games coming forward and who you think has the advantage a little bit.
Well, I'd just like to say, Jeff outscored the whole league this week. That's impressive.
Not the whole league.
Everybody that matters. I mean,
The people that are in the
everybody
playoffs.
whose team still is in it is what I meant to say. Yeah, that's what I
Oh
meant to
yeah, I
say.
forgot. That makes it even more ding now that I look down the agenda for our high score part. Like,
Yeah.
you're not even in it. You don't even matter anymore. Why are we talking about you?
We're not.
We're not.
No, I'm just joking.
I'm just
Yeah, so
hey,
no,
it's a
so
commish correction. All right, let me put on my commish corrections
Yeah.
hat, Matt. Jeff did not outscore the entire league, buddy. All right, just so you know.
Jeff had the highest score of playoff teams.
Okay.
That's so good.
So
I
no,
love
I
it.
mean, Jeff, we got to watch out for him. And honestly, I'll just be honest. My team does not match up well against Alex because I have the quarterback to his Tyreek Hill, and he
Well-
has Mostert. So I really am hoping that Jeff can knock out Alex because he's the one guy in the playoffs that my team doesn't match up well against.
You're
I mean,
hoping.
Sean knock out Alex. Oh, Jeff and Alex. I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah,
Jeff
yeah.
and Alex. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need
Yeah.
Jeff, who scored the most points this week of playoff teams. I hope he can beat Alex. So
Did we? I know we didn't really talk injuries because we kind of went straight to the playoff stuff. But is Tyreek going to be back next week? Do we know yet? Because I know he missed this week. So have we heard anything? If he's going to
No,
be back?
there's nothing definitive yet.
Okay. Okay.
Last week, I did hear on Sunday morning last week that the Dolphins were leaving it up to him to decide if he was going to play or not.
Got it.
Which is a big statement to come from the coaching staff that if he feels like he's ready, they're going to let him play. They showed him on camera walking into the stadium. He no limp. He seemed like everything was good. So the fact that he didn't suit up tells you that he doesn't feel comfortable running on that ankle yet. So I think the same thing's going to happen this week. I think it's going to be left up to Tyreek whether he feels comfortable or not. Of course, he still has some records that he's chasing this year. He still wants to get to 2,000 yards. He still wants to be Offensive Player of the Year over Christian McCaffrey, maybe even MVP over Purdy. So he still has some goals in mind, but I don't think we're going to know whether he's playing until Sunday morning.
Here's what I'd do if I was them. Sure, whenever Hill feels ready to play, that's his decision. Great. But I'd have him suited up and only play him if we need him in the second half of the games. You're already in the playoffs. You're going to get there. Why take the chance of hurting it in games you don't need it? So if he comes in and says, I'm good this week, I'd let him dress. But if we don't need him, we don't need him. Let him get another week if he needs it because that dude's amazing. So fast.
Yeah, and they won this week, right? So they didn't need him. They obviously didn't need him.
They have Dallas at home this coming weekend.
That's gonna be
Dallas can't play on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because Dallas is sort
Cowboys.
of they just had a big loss, so they're sort of teetering. The Dolphins, although they've had a great year and they're still I think second or third in the AFC, they still haven't really beat any legitimate teams yet this year. So this could be a big statement game for Miami to come out and beat Dallas. So I think there's a lot to play for. It's just a matter of whether Tyreek feels like his ankle can move. You have to remember he got injured in that game and he left, and then he came back and then he left again, right? And a lot of that coming back could have been just straight adrenaline, right? Because a high ankle sprain, typically you're out for multiple weeks. The fact that he was able to come back in was just adrenaline. But then once that adrenaline wears off and the injury really kicks in, it's a whole different thing. And so I would be surprised to see him come back this quick, especially with the way that he plays. It just doesn't seem feasible for him to be back after a week.
Well, if Alex sorry, Matt. I was just going to say if Alex does get past Jeff, then you're looking at possibly you guys both getting him back. If you can get past Sean and he gets past Jeff, then you guys would possibly both have him back for your matchup, which is going to kind of cancel. Well, I mean, he'll kind
not
of
cancel. No. He'll
benefit.
Pulls him up every time.
Yeah. So, but at least you'll both benefit from that. You'll both have that going forward towards your scores.
Goes. I'm curious. I haven't done any research. Do we know if he got injected at halftime? Did he get the shot?
Tyreek?
Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't heard anything about that.
I haven't heard that either. That'd
like
be
a cortisone shot, or
do that. Huh?
Are you talking about like a cortisone shot?
Whatever that super juice is they put in the guys when they break their leg and they go back in the next quarter.
That's
that stuff's good, man. You don't feel nothing after that. So I don't know what it is.
I haven't heard anything about that, but
the happy juice.
Yeah.
I will say though, we're talking a lot about Alex's injuries, and obviously Alex was one of the top teams this year. He had a bye week. He was the number 1 seed. Jeff was the team that just barely snuck into the playoffs. So I mean, you would think that Alex has the advantage anyways. And yes, he does have a major injury with Tyreek Hill, but Jeff's dealing with some injuries himself. He's got CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Okay, CJ Stroud probably will be back from his concussion this week, but will Nico Collins be back? They're saying probably not. And obviously he lost Tank Dell too. So CJ Stroud not at full strength. Jonathan Taylor could be back, probably not. So Jeff's got some injuries of his own to
Yep.
deal with. The
And
one
still
thing though
putting
that
up
we
big
saw last
scores.
week that might be the advantage to Jeff is that if Tyreek Hill is out, Jeff has Jalen Waddle, who had a pretty big game last week in Tyreek
Yep.
Hill's absence.
Yep.
Also, he's benefiting from no Mark Andrews. Isaiah Likely has been a super stud since Mark Andrews got hurt. Big question will be if Michael Pittman plays. Michael Pittman also in the concussion protocol on Jeff's team. So they've both got some injury concerns to deal with here.
Yeah. My idea on those kind of hits, and I know the guy got suspended, KZ. I think in a crazy bad hit like that everybody knows is a shit player or shit way to do it, you should that defensive player should be out of the game as long as the offensive player's out. So even if suspension comes or not, doesn't matter. If Pittman gets hurt because of that and stays out for 4 weeks, that defender should also be out until he comes back.
Well,
Wow.
he'll be out for much longer because he's already been suspended for the whole year.
No, but that doesn't always happen. That doesn't always happen. You know what I'm just saying? I've always thought you should have to pay for if you injure the guy like that intentionally in the bad hits, keep him
So
out.
you want an eye for an eye approach to penalties or for suspensions?
On some,
that would make you really think about. That's a business decision now.
Yep.
If I really want to take this guy out of the game, I might be missing 4 weeks
Game checks.
also.
Oh,
Yeah. So what if you end a guy's career? Is your career just done?
Ooh, that's interesting.
How about a 1 year max? 1 year max.
Yeah, and how do you measure intent, right?
Well, no, it's not if you roll up on a guy's leg. It's not if you take out a knee. It's not like that. But if it is an obvious targeting where they don't even review it. They go, "You're fucking out, dude." Like that's obvious. You're out. Those are the ones I'm talking about. If for some reason the refs see it that way, but the league didn't suspend him,
kind of like a flagrant foul in basketball, right? So this is a flagrant. There's no question. This motherfucker is like you're out. A red card in soccer.
Not everybody agreed that the defensive player was at fault in that particular case that we're talking about. Did you guys see Tom Brady's comments on it?
No.
So Tom Brady came out and said, I don't think he should be taking all the blame for this. Tom Brady blamed the quarterback that threw that pass. Now, Tom Brady's been doing this a lot lately. He's been coming out and saying, quarterbacks shouldn't throw balls up the middle. You're putting your receivers in danger.
Yeah.
As a Tom Brady hater myself, it kind of comes off as, hey, guys, remember me? I'm still good. I'm the best. Yeah. I never did this shit to my receivers, right?
Let's ask Wes Welker and Amendola, and those guys who caught balls up the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Which Tom Brady definitely did. He put those guys up the middle all the time.
Yeah.
But he's saying it's on the quarterback. The quarterback shouldn't have thrown that pass. Which and maybe Michael Pittman shouldn't have fucking flown like Superman, fucking full extension in the air trying to catch it. But these guys are athletes. I mean,
you have to blame Minnesota's quarterback for the Jefferson injury last week because he hung him out to dry 100%.
Yeah,
Jefferson knew better than to catch that ball. I mean, he knew he was going to get smashed, and he did. He went to the hospital because of it. That was a dumb throw by the quarterback.
They all got a little Rod Tidwell in them. You know what I mean? They all got a little Rod Tidwell in them.
Speaking of quarterbacks, I'm looking at the projections page for Alex and Jeff, and this picture of Will Levis. I was just about to bring pants picture. Is that what you're gonna bring up?
I was just looking at it, and I was just anyways, go on.
I don't trust a quarterback who's wearing a suit and tie in his projections picture. Like, come on, buddy. Like, you didn't have any pictures of you in a jersey you could be wearing.
Their current projections. What I was going to bring up is Alex is currently projected 139 to 100 against Jeff. So that's a pretty wide gap right there.
Yeah, and that's with Pittman in for Jeff.
Exactly.
Let's look at the other matchup. How's Found the Fucking Fathers versus Fuck the Founding Fathers?
I think it's about even.
Great name.
He fucking stole the name, but besides
that. Yeah. Matt's at 136 and Sean's at 134 right now. So it's really, really close. How you feeling, brother? Since you don't get to really break this down, but I guess you can a little bit, but how are you feeling going into this week against Sean?
Better till you just read the projections. No, I actually got some good matchups. I kind of like where my teams are this week. Like some home games. I'll move my defense around just a little bit. I think I picked up Love, who did great for me this week, and Pratt, who I just picked up for the 1 week.
Man,
I don't know, man.
you almost that game was almost a walk away for you if that Pratt thing would have
Dude, that was
stuck.
a big like 3 minute swing, man.
Yeah, me and Nathan were talking about that. I felt really good after that because you lost the touchdown and the interception, and I got the touchdown right afterwards
Well,
with
he almost had
Addison.
hands on that touchdown.
Yeah,
He was guarding him. He almost had hands on that one too. I'm like, fuck, dude, jeez.
yeah, yeah,
Rough, but
Here's
all
the
good,
part of
all
the
good.
lineups that stand out to me. Obviously, Sean has CeeDee Lamb, who has been on just a tear the last
yeah.
half of the season.
Yep.
Maybe the best wide receiver in football right now. But you know who also looked really fucking good last week was T. Higgins with Jamar Chase out.
Mm-hmm.
And we know Jamar Chase is going to be out again this week, and that's a big game against Pittsburgh. T. Higgins, he might be a top 3 wide receiver to have this year. So you're going up against 2 of the top guys. You're going to need another Superman performance from Christian McCaffrey on Monday night against a
I don't know,
tough
man.
Baltimore defense.
Those Cincy Pittsburgh games in Pittsburgh always go weird. Always go weird. They got backup quarterbacks. Could be weather. I think that could be a low scoring game. I just that those games play out weird all the time. So I'm
You're gonna
hoping
They
need
for
do.
that, but that would also affect Deontay Johnson. So yeah, we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
you're gonna need Lockett to step up and Pakua to be who he's been. Yeah, I mean, and McCaffrey. I mean, yeah, I mean, but he's also You guys both need a lot of help, a lot of things to happen for you to get this thing done.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, Matt, you and I will both be rooting for Justin Fields. Oh, wait, that's Sean that has Justin Fields. Sean and I will both be rooting for Justin Fields this weekend because I'm starting Fields in the Dynasty League.
At home against Arizona. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I got DJ Moore. Great
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah,
Fucking
there you
love it.
go.
Love
There
it.
you go. There you go. Well, congratulations again, brother, and good luck
And
this
if we
week.
draft in Chicago, you guys can just come visit the field this summer.
We're going to get to that in a minute. Hey, I want to talk about this costume bowl, though, because we got Justin back in the costume bowl again.
No,
It seems like Justin's in the costume bowl.
it's his son, it's Jake.
Oh, is it Jake? Okay.
That's what he said. He said I turned it over to Jake for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
He's trying to get out of the costume, I think.
Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, Jake being a co-owner of that team is the only saving grace here because really none of us wants to see Justin in the costume again.
Right.
But it would be kind of like a nice welcome to the league rookie for Jake if we got to put him in a matching costume with his dad. So I guess that's the one thing that's okay here. But gosh, I mean, how much do we all want Bobby to lose this loser bowl?
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. If it is Justin's kid, we should try and create a costume that incorporates a little piece of every costume Justin's ever worn.
I don't know. What about the Dr. Evil and Mini-Me? For those two?
Oh, the Dr. D. Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, shit, you might be the one picking the costume, Matt, if you win the next couple of weeks. And Alex has picked some of our best costumes when he picked Ryan's costume and Josh's. I thought those were done really well when he won his 2 years. So if
Yeah.
Alex wins, I think we're in safe hands with the costume, no matter who the loser is.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Matt, you'll step up and come up with something nice and creative. I know Sean will. I think Jeff's a little bit of a wild card there, and I think Jeff's a wild card in a lot of ways. Where is he going to take us? Where is he going to take us to draft? How is he going to pick the costume? Is he going to be bold enough to pick something, funny and crazy? I don't know. You got any other ideas besides the mini-me for what if it's Bobby, Matt?
Jeff knows you can't take us to like a dry county, right? For the draft? Like none of that shit.
What Tri-County would he take us to?
I don't know. They got him out here, dude. They got him in the Midwest.
Yeah, I don't think Jeff's taking us out of California, to be honest with you.
No. Yeah, for Bobby, costumes. I don't know. I mean,
who do you guys think loses?
God, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing: is Justin has told us in the past that the reason that he's in costume so often, maybe it's an excuse, but he says he checks out. He doesn't look at his team very closely. He doesn't pick up players off waivers. He barely sets his lineup and whatever. So maybe that's gives Bobby the advantage. But here we have Bobby I think he's been the low scorer the last 2 weeks in a row. And I believe this week, not only was he the lowest scorer of the week, but maybe the lowest scorer of the whole season, like 80 points.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
rough.
yeah. That's rough.
Now, we've seen guys have low score and then go all the way to high score, right? But let's look at their teams.
I'm looking right now, and I like Lamar over Carr. He's got Bobby's run Henry versus A Chain against. So A Chain and Harris versus Henry and Sanders. Who do you like?
Oh, God, that's so ugly. I mean, Harris
Take the Henry
Look,
side.
Harris and Sanders are basically the same at this point. They're fucking both garbage.
Okay.
Achan is boomer bust.
Harris gets the goal line though for sure if they get there.
Yeah. And then Henry last week, on the rewatch of the pod, Matt, you had said you didn't like Henry versus Houston.
I
But
know. I was wrong.
Yeah, well, here's the thing is he didn't do well this week, so you ended up being right. But in his history against Houston, Henry has just been dominant with multiple touchdowns, 150, 200 yards. And I was expecting that again this week. I played him in all my DFS. He looked horrible.
Yeah.
If Henry can't score points against Houston, he might really be cooked. So,
All right. Which side do you like? Evans, Flowers, Allen, Hopkins, Downs, Cup.
well, I like any side that has Cup right now. He looks really good.
What's the first three?
Evans, Flowers, Allen, Keenan
Yeah,
Allen,
that's it.
Hopkins, Downs, Cup.
Oh, Keenan Allen. Ugh.
Yeah, you don't want the Allen side with no quarterback, right?
Yeah, I think I like the Cup side,
Yeah,
even though
Cup
Evans
side.
is still Evans. I don't know. I
Flowers
really
is
like
a tough matchup.
I don't like Hopkins either, though. But
Yeah, and Lamar Jackson, you said you like him over Carr, but he's playing against the Niners.
it's true.
Can we
I mean,
handle
this is
a
what a
running
loser bowl
quarterback?
should look like, right? You should look at all these players and go, I don't want any of these guys.
Yeah, and then Conklin or Cooks. Conklin for Bobby, Cooks for in their flex for Justin.
You know what? I think history's on
I'm
his
saying
side.
Bobby
I think
loses.
Bobby's
It's just a
gonna
gut
win.
feeling.
Oh,
Bobby loses.
you're saying he's gonna lose?
Ooh, split the
think-
difference.
I think the history's on his side. I think Justin's gonna end up losing again.
Okay.
Stacking Bolts has got an 18 to 11 to 1 record versus Justin. For some reason, I want to pick Justin because I think Achan and Cup. Yeah. I don't like Carr. I don't like Sanders. I don't like. Well,
All
definitely
right, it's
don't
just the loser bowl. Make a choice.
like. Yeah. I'll go Justin.
All
I'll
right,
go Justin.
Carr had a
I'll
really
go
nice
Justin.
week last week, by the way. 26.72 points, and in a must-win game against the Rams this week. I think he's got a lot to play for. We'll see.
Yeah. The Rams' defense played better than last week than I thought they would. Their pass defense did, anyways. I was expecting Sam Howell to come in there and torch him, but he didn't. You know what I mean? They actually played well against them. So I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's talk some dynasty, guys. Let's talk a little dynasty
Now,
playoffs.
hold on. Before you move forward, Sam Howell's fun, and I got him in Dynasty. I love that guy, but I believe he's the most intercepted and most sacked quarterback on the year. I believe both of those are true.
Sack for
surprised me.
sure. I haven't heard the interceptions one, but that
I'm
aligns
pretty sure it's
because
interceptions.
if
too.
you have no protection, you're probably gonna get rid of the ball a lot
So
faster.
the
right?
season's
Yeah.
wearing on him. I mean, he's just been smashed all season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. All right, dynasty playoffs. Nate versus Joe, Bobby versus Dre. I got kicked out this week and lost against Bobby. Matt, you've been out of it for a little while also. Nate,
Yep.
how you feeling against Joe this week?
Well, I have those aforementioned injuries that I'm dealing with, of course.
Yeah,
So
yes.
I'm not as confident as I should be. But we've talked about this before. My team's pretty deep. I lose Jamar Chase, I replace him with Kittle. If I lose Pittman, I replace him with what's his name?
You're projected by
McLaurin.
almost 50 points.
I was just about to say your
50
projection
points.
is even higher than the other one we looked
Well, you
at.
have to remember,
Holy
Joe was
fuck.
the guy that snuck into the playoffs with the 8-6 record, even though
Yeah.
he was like the third lowest scoring team in our league. So yeah, he's had a bit of luck, but that luck could continue this week. So I'm not feeling super confident, but yeah, I should win.
I
Yeah.
picked Nate.
Yeah, I picked Nate.
Sorry, Joe. That's it.
Any team with McCaffrey, Pittman's hurt. Kittle now, Mahomes, Kelsey. Yeah, you're looking pretty solid, bro.
Well, Mahomes and Kelsey have not been Mahomes and Kelsey recently.
Just recently,
And
but
yeah, and Bijan Robinson, I think, what did he score last week? -1 point. And I'm starting him because I'm not going to bench him. So yeah, I mean, anything could happen, but I should win. Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, I like
All
that.
right, next.
All right. We got Kenny G. That's Dre versus Bobby. Let's just start out with the projections. Bobby's projected 143 to 113 against Dre. Bobby's team, Prescott, Lamb. He's got
I don't know. Just look at
injuries to
which
Allen and
one side's
Jefferson.
green, one side's not. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, because I want Bobby to lose this one, I try and look at it through the lens of what would need to happen for Dre to pull off the upset here. Raheem Mostert against Dallas could have a 3 TD game easily. Kenneth Walker looked awesome last night. He could look awesome again this week against
Hold on,
Tennessee.
did Mostert finish last week with like 3 touchdowns and 18 points?
Something like that, yeah.
Like that's no yardage, no catches, no.
Yeah. But they're using him at the goal line.
I know, but I looked it up. It was 3 touchdowns, 18 points. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing is now that he's in the lead for touchdowns, or he was until McCaffrey I think passed him. They're making a concerted effort to get him the ball right there at the goal line.
Yep.
So, the coach even said it. If you watch the Hard Knocks, there was a part where he walked up to him and he said, "Hey, anytime we're within the 5, you're getting the ball." So that's their plan. They're going to get the ball.
Mostert's going to own the record forever for a guy over 30 doing this. I mean,
yeah,
that's just amazing.
So his running backs are good. Dre's running backs are really good. His wide receivers are boom or bust, but he's got Cooper, Pickens, Devontae Smith, and Garrett Wilson. All 4 of those guys could go off, right? So I give Dre a puncher's chance in this one, even though Bobby is the odds-on favorite. I think Dre does have a puncher's chance.
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I'd like to
Bobby's
continue
got
to talk.
smoked on QBs alone.
I'd like to continue to talk about this, but the fact that we're not just like going, okay, well, Nathan and Bobby are going to be in the championship next week is kind of silly. Let's just, I mean, I guess there is a chance for the other guys. I guess there's always a chance any given Sunday, but yeah.
Did Bobby win the championship in one league and be in the dress in the other, or the costume? Oh man, that's good.
What a contrasting feeling to have. I guess you don't. I mean, you're not really. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess you'd be sad about one, but one's not as important as the other.
How many has Bobby won in Dynasty?
He won the first 2. And that first year that he won, I'm still kicking myself because I was the number 1 seed all year. I was dominating, and then I traded him Jalen Hurts. It was actually a practice squad purchase. Jalen Hurts was on my practice squad. He came in for an injured Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Went off, threw like 3 touchdowns. Bobby goes to buy him off my practice squad, and I thought to myself, oh shit, he wants to buy this guy? Carson Wentz might be back next week. Sure, I'll sell him to you. I'm fucking kicking myself in the fucking... Dude, the very next week, I played against Bobby in the playoffs, and Jalen Hurts has like 40 points and knocks me out of the playoffs. That was it.
Wow.
Lesson learned.
Holy moly.
Wait, I want to hear the lesson. What's the lesson?
Don't fucking trade players to Bobby. No, the lesson I learned, honestly, is there's a reason that I took Jalen Hurts and stashed him on my practice squad, because I saw him play a little bit in college, and I knew what he was capable of. I should have had a little bit more faith in my early evaluations and not been so focused on, especially as a competing team, I shouldn't have been so focused on the future. Oh, draft picks that I can get for this guy. I should have been more focused on, I just got to win this year, right?
Yeah.
But I think at that time we had a 3 quarterback max rule. I know for a fact we had a 3 quarterback max rule. And I think I would have had to drop a quarterback. I don't remember who. But yeah, I mean, at the time it seemed like it made sense.
Well, that wouldn't have made sense, because you would have just, if Hurts got the starting job, you would have just dropped Wentz. So it wouldn't have been a starter.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't have
it wasn't
Wentz.
starters back then. You're right. It was just quarterbacks.
Yeah, I would have had 4 starting quarterbacks. And so that was a risk that I was going to have to drop a quarterback, and I didn't know if Hurts was going to be good enough to drop my other quarterback for. Obviously, in retrospect, I look like an idiot. Hurts ended up being, a top 5 QBs.
You didn't know. You obviously couldn't have the foresight like somebody to go ahead and pick up the,
The
Go
Brock
ahead,
Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Brock
Yeah.
Purdy. You couldn't have that foresight. But you know, I mean, you know what I mean.
Well, I did have the foresight because I drafted him. I drafted Jalen Hurts.
Well, I mean, you could have thought to yourself, you couldn't have known he was going to be that good, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You couldn't have known.
Well, it's like if somebody, and obviously it's different because you're a Niner fan, but that game when Brock Purdy came in and played really well in relief of Jimmy G.
Yeah.
If there was a thought that he might be back next week,
Yeah.
he's not done for the year,
Yeah.
and somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, I want Brock Purdy, and by the way, you're going to have to drop Justin Herbert because you can only carry 3 quarterbacks." At that point, you probably would have traded Brock Purdy away for the draft pick.
Probably because I didn't know any better.
Right.
Nobody had seen Brock play yet. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's
that would be Ben making trades, so maybe not.
Yeah, I've made trades. All right, guys. Let's talk about the battle for the 1.01 pick. Right now it's Sean versus Steve. And is there anything more to talk about than that? I mean, what they're just battling it out for that, right?
Well, yeah, I guess it's funny. Sean could be in the same boat as Bobby. He'd be playing for the championship in one league and the last place in the other league.
Well, yeah, he's not playing for last place technically. He's not trying to put a costume on. This is actually, he won his loser bowl game.
Yeah.
So
you're right. It's not a
loss. Really, these guys.
I said you right twice in like 5 minutes, Nate. We're gonna have to stop doing this, or something's gonna have to change. So,
Steve already has Trevor Lawrence. So honestly, I don't care who else is on Steve's team. I don't want him to have Trevor Lawrence and the number one pick and get another superstar, Caleb Williams potentially. So I think I'm rooting for Sean in this one because I think he's more in need of a quarterback. But, and Trevor Lawrence, I don't think we've seen his ceiling yet. I think he potentially could still be a, down the road top 7 type guy in the league. So yeah, I'm rooting for Sean a little bit here, but yeah, it's a fun little matchup because they both need quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's true.
That's interesting. I've actually been thinking we've seen Trevor Lawrence and who he is. That's interesting. You think that? I'll have to I'll pay attention.
I think what we've seen of him is pretty damn good when he's healthy. I mean, I think he's shown you that he's a pretty talented quarterback when he's healthy.
Well, this has been his best year, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He's shown you the potential and what he's I think he played pretty damn well this year when he was healthy. You know what I mean? So.
Okay, so he's in total fantasy points this year. He's number 15. Now I know, and everybody's had a bye, so I know there's been injuries and people have missed games, etc. But he's number 15 in total fantasy points, which I know you don't measure just strictly on fantasy points, but that's a good barometer of how they're doing amongst their peers. Mm-hmm. And Trevor Lawrence, when he was drafted, they were saying he's the next Peyton Manning, he's the next Andrew Luck. So, in his 4th year in the league, has he lived up to those expectations? Certainly not. Right by now, he should be on the Josh Allen, Mahomes trend, right? And he's not. So no, I don't think he's lived up to that potential. Now, whether he has more in the tank to improve, maybe. I mean, add some more weapons to his team. His receivers are okay; they're not great. Calvin Ridley's not as good as people thought he might be. So I do think there is room for improvement still.
Yeah, there definitely could be. I think he's a 8 to 15 kind of quarterback, not a top 5.
Well, we've seen a number of quarterbacks in the past.
He said 7. Matt said 8. He said he could be top 7. Matt said, I think he's more of an 8 to 15.
Yeah. Come on, let it ride.
That encapsulates Matt's arguments with me oftentimes. Is no way he's top 7.
Well, I'm giving you the upside is 8. I think he's lower. I think he is lower.
But how many times have we seen? How many times have we seen like Tua Tagovailoa was considered a bust by most people. He was like a 20 to 30 guy as far as quarterbacks go in fantasy. As soon as he gets Tyreek, he's a top guy. People want Tua on their team, right? We saw the same thing happen with players like Diggs when he went to Josh Allen, right? Josh Allen was having a bad couple of first years. He got Diggs. All of a sudden, Josh Allen's a superstar. Joe Burrow has Chase. Kirk Cousins has Justin Jefferson. Right, so a superstar wide receiver can turn a quarterback into a superstar. So who knows? Maybe if they do add a piece, like a really top level,
T. Higgins is going to look good down there next year.
Potentially T. Higgins, maybe I hope not, but maybe a Brandon Ayuk could be potentially an addition for him. Those are the guys that are free agents this year.
Yeah.
Let's not let Brandon go. We should keep him.
But
We
it's
should
also
do
a very
anything
deep
and everything
year.
possible.
It's also a deep year for wide receivers in the draft. And as we know, some of the top wide receivers that we're currently rooting for in fantasy weren't first round picks. AJ Brown was a second round pick. Debo was a second round pick. T. Higgins was a second round pick. So you can get these kind of guys in the second, third round. DK
Sure.
Metcalf, for example. So yeah, I think just one superstar receiver, and you could see Trevor Lawrence take that next leap.
Wow, we're still talking about Trevor Lawrence. Jesus Christ.
Hey man, we don't have very much on the agenda today, so
that was a long answer to get around to Trevor Lawrence could potentially be better.
We talked about the loser bowl for fucking 5 minutes, dude. What are you talking about? Costume bowl. Yeah,
Costume bowl.
costume bowl.
All right, talk to me about side league playoffs, guys. Talk to me about who's left in that.
Yeah, so it was a nice little battle the final week there. Anna was able to scratch and claw her way up and get into the playoffs, but unfortunately, she didn't knock out any of the boys. She knocked out Jamie. Jamie,
Oh,
Jamie, it was fun playing with you. Hopefully, we'll get to do another side league again next year. But
Hell yeah.
Anna is the only girl in the playoffs. She'll be going against Sean this week, and then of course me versus Bobby. I just played Bobby last week in the same league and whooped his ass. So hopefully the same will be repeated, but we'll see.
well, I mean, it's all right. We'll see Jamie again at our draft when she's putting Josh's team together. So,
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Ben, I want to let you know that I did finally win for the first time in 2 months in that league.
oh, congratulations!
pretty good
Look
about
at you winning weekend.
Yeah, feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah.
There is a little
Everything-
subplot though that I'm playing Bobby again this week because 5-6 weeks ago we made a trade and he traded Godwin to get Justin Jefferson, who was obviously on the IR at the time. And I think up until now that trade really hasn't worked out for him because obviously Justin Jefferson didn't do anything until last week. But could this be the week? Justin Jefferson all of a sudden explodes, goes for 40 points, and then the whole thing pays off because Bobby knocks me out of the playoffs. Then the whole trade becomes worth it. So that's a fun little subplot.
Yeah.
Nah, not likely because all my guys on my team this week are going to go off for 40. So, because I can't do anything to be in the playoffs anymore. So,
So Ben, how do you feel now
Jordan
about
Addison will get 40. Justin will get nothing. You know what I mean? Something like that.
how you feeling about your love for Nick Mullins going forward?
Yeah. I mean, dude, he looked great. I mean, through Addison some balls and yeah. I mean, I got nothing bad to say about him.
Is he going to take Kirk Cousins' job?
Oh, I think Kurt's going to get traded in the offseason.
Well, he's a free agent.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Is he gonna take it?
I don't see who else. I mean, who else do they have right now? They can't unless they get somebody in free agency.
I think Dobbs has been traded 7 more times since they
Yeah,
said.
no, I'll answer your question, Matt. No, Nick Mullins will not be a starting quarterback next year. Okay.
Hell no. Hell no.
Not in a million years. No, I think
No.
the most likely scenario is that the Vikings will try and extend Kirk for another year or two. If they're not able to reach a deal with him, they'll go out on the free agent market and try and get another quarterback. But they're definitely not going to put all their eggs in one basket with Nick Mullins.
I think that the Vikings should trade for Justin Fields. Bears draft somebody new. Fields on that turf indoors with Addison and Jefferson. Dude, that's some speed.
Hawkinson,
That could look
Addison,
really interesting
Jefferson.
next year.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, they're going to probably trade him anyways, right? So why not go to Minnesota? Why not send him to Minnesota?
Well, they say that Justin Fields' biggest problem is that he doesn't read defenses and he doesn't know how to go to his second read. That's why he zeroes in on your boy over there. But in Minnesota, where every read is a superstar, right? He's got an Addison, he's got a Jefferson, he's got a Hawkinson. Maybe he could flourish in an offensive system like that.
Yeah.
Well, and those guys are so fast. When plays break down, Justin keeps them alive. That's their kind of football. I mean, that's what he plays. And I'll take Justin Jefferson in a broken down play any day.
Yeah.
I saw a meme today that said, it probably won't be as funny in words as it was in pictures, but it was Jalen Hurts without the tush push, and then it was a picture of Justin Fields.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Probably better with the picture.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we at? Are we talking guillotine now? I think we're talking guillotine.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
let's talk some guillotine.
well, I think I already mentioned it. One of my teams got eliminated, so it's now Jeff, Bobby, and me. We're officially in the money rounds. First place gets 500, second place 300, and third place gets 100. There has not been any talk yet of a deal. If somebody was to propose it, I think I'd probably be open to it. I don't know, like
Oh,
300
chop chop,
apiece. Yeah, why
chop
not?
chop.
We're all in the
Mm.
money right now. But we'll see. I think we all have equally balanced teams. I mean, they're just the teams at this point in Guillotine are so stacked top to bottom with studs that there's not a lot of
Yeah,
skill involved at this point. It's really just kind of a luck game. So
yeah.
it's like, do you want to cross your fingers and hope you make it another week? Well, then you're guaranteed 300 if you make it. But if you get knocked out this week, you only get your money back because we're all in for 2 buy-ins. So yeah, I
I
mean, there
hate
could
it.
be
I
some talk
hate it. I
maybe
hate it.
later
I
this week.
hate it. I always hate it when you guys do it.
Well,
If I was a
why does it matter
commissioner,
to
that'd
you?
be
You're
my
not
first
in it.
rule. No chopping pots. Play this shit out. Winner take all. Let's go.
That's
Football.
that sounds like something that a person that got eliminated 6 weeks ago would say.
Touche. Touche. Coming at you. Coming at you.
Well, good luck with you guys in the guillotine. I mean, to see if somebody does come with that. I mean, I see Jeff and Bobby both wanting $200. Easy peasy, easy money. I would do it. Let's split that shit. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Make it easy on myself. All right, let's talk some draft locations, guys. We got the playoffs coming up, or we're in the playoffs. We got the championship coming up. I should say, which means we have couple guys who are in the mix here for where they might pick us to draft next year. And who do we got? We got Alex, Jeff, Sean, and Matt that are left in there. We already know Alex. We can kind of just, I mean, do we? I mean, you
Well,
said something about Alex making a weird comment.
no, it was Joe that made the comment. Joe.
Oh, it was Joe.
And by the way, let's just set this up by saying it's really important that we try and get as much information as we can over the next week or so, because this really a lot of people choose who they are rooting for and who they put their support behind based off of where they're going to draft. So if we can nail
Right.
down, and I know people can't, they're not going to commit, but if we can nail down at least an estimate, this is going to make a lot of difference. So obviously, we've had a lot of fun at the 2 Texas drafts, and it wouldn't be horrible if we went again. I mean, we swim in Joe's pool, we go out drinking downtown Austin. It's all fun, but I
Yeah.
think we'd prefer something different, right? Now, Joe made a comment in the thread last night that Alex was talking about the Florida Keys. Now, is that a real thing, or is that just a joke because he knows that Steve's in Florida right now?
Mhm.
I don't know,
Dude, I've always wanted to go there. I'd love it. Let's do
dude.
it.
Really, Florida sucks, dude.
What?
No, but it's not Florida; it's the Keys.
It's the Keys, dude.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, I've never
Drug
been either, but
smugglers.
the Keys is
No.
isn't it like a little grouping of islands right there, right off
Yeah.
the coast of Florida?
Yeah,
It's more of
southern
like
tip,
a
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's more of like a vacation destination.
Got it.
It's
It's
dude, it's beaches, fishing huts. I mean, dude, it's
I don't know about
gorgeous
hunting,
from
but
what I see in pictures.
is the weather better than Texas?
Yeah, you're on the
in
coast. You're on the
August
ocean.
it's gonna be humid as fuck.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna
but
be
not if you're on the
horribly
water.
humid.
You're okay. You're okay.
No, it's humid on the
Uh,
water too. Yeah,
I don't know.
You know, and getting back to the Texas thing, I'm we talk a lot of shit on Texas just for fun, but if we go to Texas again, I want to do a different draft. I want to, Joe's Pool's great. The nightlife, fine. College kids, I don't really give a fuck about hanging out with a bunch of college kids. Let's do a little more. Let's just make a little more of it if we get to go back there.
well, one thing that we learned, one thing we learned from past drafts is that Alex, when he won, he said the draft is happening in Texas, but he didn't set anything up. He didn't mandate
Yeah.
where we stayed. Didn't tell us what we had to do during the week. Not that anybody does that, but like at least when I plan the draft, I say, here's all the events that we can do, and right, Alex kind of let us like write our own script. So if we do go back to Texas, what kind of script would you want to write, Matt? What do you envision as being the plan?
Uh, Maybe a little more time in the lake, a little more time with the families.
With the
I don't know.
family, like, what do you mean with the families?
The
Like with the
families live
Ripple
out there.
families?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, because last time not everybody's family came. More
Well, the
time
wives
with
didn't
people
go
that are
last
out there.
time.
Huh?
The wives didn't go last time,
Yeah,
most of them,
yeah,
and I don't
right.
anticipate that they would again this time. I
Right.
think it would probably be mostly a boys draft. I mean, with the exception of Megan Hab, who will
Yeah.
always probably be there, but I think most of the wives, at least my wife, has said she doesn't want to go to Texas for the draft.
Yeah.
And Austin's dirty, man. Let's be honest. I mean, there's nice places to it, but downtown Austin's dirty. It's like Seattle. It's homeless and urine and drugs, and like I don't need to be there. Like
I really
I
like that.
try everything I can to stay away from places like that. Like
I really liked that draft location there last year, or
that's
2
fun.
years ago.
That's
Yeah,
The
fun.
I mean
the house we stayed at, you mean?
no, the ping pong table place that we did
Yeah.
the draft at.
Oh, the actual location. Yeah,
Dude,
Yeah.
to have our own back bar like that, where we could order any food we want, any drinks we want, all day long. It wasn't that expensive. We had a ping pong table, privacy. There was no like strangers walking through our draft. We had our own private bathroom. I mean, where else are you going to find a location like that? I thought that was awesome.
No,
I
that
wouldn't mind drafting there again.
yeah. There's definitely been amazing parts to Texas drafts. I don't love the humidity. I don't love the temperature. That's just me. But yeah, I don't know. I just like to change it up. Just like I said, when Bobby said leaving last year's draft, best ever. Let's come here every year. Let's just do this. Let's lock it in forever. I never want to do anything else. I'm like, dude, let's just do something else. Like that's all. Like with every draft, let's just try something new. Like that's just
Yeah.
how I see
Well,
it.
I mean, to Bobby's credit, even if it's not for the draft, I want to do Vintage Village again, like, and soon. I even was talking to Ben about that last weekend. I was like, dude, we should just fucking do it. Like, even if it's not draft related, let's just get the families together. It's a
Yeah.
nice little area to just hang
Sure.
out, go out on the lake. It's fun. But with that said, Matt, where would you take us? And I know you've said Chicago before, and I know you've said other places, but like, let's try and pin you down. What's the most likely scenario here? Where are you taking us for the draft?
Man, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'd love to have you guys out here do Chicago. I mean, it's such a if whoever's never done Chicago, especially we can go to a Cubs game, sit out in center field or one of those rooftop ones. Man, the experience of being in Chicago, walking to all the bars, the trains, so fun, so fun. I would love to show you guys that city a little bit. There's a whole nightlife underneath the city, other bars and restaurants, and that would be fun.
It would be
If everybody will show up, I would absolutely love to do that.
It would be
But-
one of the more expensive drafts we've ever had because
I don't give a fuck,
staying in
guys.
Chicago.
My draft is like 3 times as expensive as everybody's every year.
That's
With
true.
all
Yeah,
my
because
travel
you're
and everything.
traveling.
So if you guys got to do it one year, fine.
Well, no,
I
I
don't
wouldn't
care.
say yours is 3 times more. Your airfare is definitely 3 times more than other people, but your cut of the house is the same as everybody else's, right? But what I'm saying is not only the airfare to Chicago would be expensive, but renting a house that could accommodate us all.
Yeah.
I mean, Chicago is not known for having big sprawling properties that you could rent, big
Right.
Airbnbs and host 15 people in, right? So that
Right.
that might become a challenge. And that means we all have to get our own places to rent. So now you're multiplying the number of places that you're renting. You're staying in the city, out of the city.
All right. So Nate's not picking me. Okay.
So is that what you're locking in at, Chicago?
No, I'm not locking anything in. I just said that would be fun. And it was never an option for it because Ben said he wasn't going to do it. Now he said he would do it if I pick it. So it's on the table. Like I said, there's still places in California or out in that area, Southwest, that I would love to pick also. So I'm not locked in at all.
Ben, put a percentage on it. If Matt says Chicago and it's going to cost you, let's say, $600, what's the percentage chance that you're going to make it?
I'm gonna do my damnedest to make it happen.
Okay.
I mean, dude, anytime. The draft weekend's a challenge for me anytime, dude, because I don't have the money like everybody else does. So it's a challenge. So it is what it is. But we don't need to really spend more time on this right now, do we? I mean,
I just asked what the percentage chances were. We have 2 more people to go through, though. Where do you guys think Jeff would take us if he won?
I think Jeff's going to stay in California. I don't think he's going out of state. Sean's the only wild card because I don't really know what Sean's thought process would be because I know he likes to travel and go places. I don't think Sean has any interest in going to Texas. At least maybe I don't know. Maybe
I
he
hope
will.
if Jeff wins, he locks it down for his rookie and we draft in Dre's hometown. That would be fucking rad for the rookies. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
What?
happening.
in North Carolina? Or
Hell
whatever?
yeah.
Yeah, Jeff's not taking us to North Carolina. I know that much. I could see Jeff saying California. It's a question as to where in California. We know Jeff likes to mountain bike, so maybe he'll pick a place that has mountain biking. We know Jeff is a bit of an outdoorsman. Maybe he'll pick a camping spot. I know he likes a little variety, so I doubt he would pick Bobby's favorite, Launch Point
Yeah.
again. Probably do something a little bit different, but maybe
How
pick something.
fun would it be to pick Colorado before Ryan gets to?
Could happen.
That would be funny. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you talked to Sean more than anybody, Nathan. Has Sean made any reference to where he thought he might pick?
Not this year, but from years past, he's made very serious references to wanting to draft in New Orleans
Yes.
and doing a repeat of his bachelor party. Down in that area, I think that would be a lot of fun. He's mentioned before that he wants to do Sonoma, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He wants to go camping off the grid and do a draft off grid
Hell yeah.
where there's no internet. He's mentioned that a few times, and then I know there's some of his favorite spots to go recently is to go up like wine tasting and Central California. So I think those are all probably on the board. Things that I could see Sean picking.
Yeah, I think Napa would be a cool place to do it. I don't drink wine really, but I just love it up there.
I know.
It's
Isn't
fucking-
Napa pretty fucking expensive too?
It can be. If you're
Yeah.
doing all the touristy things, if you're doing the wine tastings and all those sort of things, it can be. We've been renting Airbnbs up in Paso Robles. We've done it with the Bennett's twice now. Pretty affordable. We rented a decent sized house, and it's it wasn't that expensive. No more expensive than some of the houses we've rented in the past. And there's some cool stuff that you can do up there as well. I don't know if he'll pick Paso. We do it too often for him to pick that for the draft, but I could see him picking another place for wine
You know
tasting.
what? I'll throw one more out there, and we've talked about it so many times. I'll put it back on the board: houseboating out at Lake Mead or
Dude.
Lake Powell, whichever one you want to do. It doesn't matter to me. Either one.
Yeah, any lake that has houseboating
Yeah.
would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd
I
be
would
fucking
be-
rad.
Yeah, I would be 100% into that. It can get also a little bit pricey because most houseboats will only accommodate
10.
8 to 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 to 12 around there. So you might, if wives and kids come, you might have to get 2 houseboats, or some people stay off.
One for the wives and the kids, and one for us. Sounds perfect. Yeah.
Well, if it's Lake Powell, you could have some camping spots, right, where people set up shop in their trailers and tents and things like that, and then they just board the houseboat during the day. So that's a possibility as well. But yeah, that would be a fucking blast, man.
Yeah, that'd be
It
a
would
blast.
be, but fuck, man, a whole weekend out on the water is fucking a long weekend.
Well,
You know what I mean?
you would be one of the people that would stay on shore and then just board the boat for the festivities, right?
Most likely, yes. Just because, yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
But no, it's just fun. It was fun. I mean, we we didn't do a houseboat, but the boating we did at the last one was fun. I mean, we had a good time.
No, it was a
We had
great time.
Yeah.
I think
It'd be
the concern.
it'd be fun to add, if we did something like that again, add a boat where we could tow an inner tube or something, to that whole mix. That'd be a good addition, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. You want to have some fun boats along with your houseboat. Yeah.
Yep.
One thing I will say though is you're probably out of these 4 people, you and Jeff would be the most likely that would pick a houseboat scenario. So the one thing I will tell both of you guys is that if that's something you're serious about, you got to plan them early.
Yeah, I know.
You don't wait until April, May, June to try and book for August. You got to.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as you win the league, you got to start looking into it. These things book up quick. So
I
start
like
looking
how
at
you
it in
just
January.
said that.
What's that?
I like how you said that. As soon as you win the league, you have to look into this.
Yeah.
That sounded good. I like that.
Hey man, if you're going to take us houseboating, I might put all my support back behind you. Yeah, that sounds like a fucking blast. Way better than. I mean, Chicago is great for its own thing, but for a draft party weekend, I think houseboating trumps Chicago, any day. In my opinion,
It's 2 different things. You've never done Chicago, right, Nate?
I've never been to Chicago, no, and I want
There's
to
some
go.
rad parts to it. There's some really rad. I know Ben loves Chicago too. There's some rad parts, rad
Yeah.
stories.
No, Chicago's cool.
It would be a tough place to draft. It would be tough. I'm just thinking of us center field at Wrigley, the 12 of us sitting out there. that
mean,
experience alone just sounds so rad to have.
I mean, you could always do like we stay outside of Chicago and then we just drive into the city for the events too. You know, what I mean, there's cheaper
Well, and
spots
dude, and
in.
there's like 4 casinos within 35 minutes of my house, so we could do Chicago for a day, hit the Wrigley game, the Cubs game, end up in Michigan for the rest of the weekend, hitting up all the casinos and everything. There's wineries out here too, so something for Sean. Yeah.
Well, for the 4 guys that are still in it, I would encourage you guys put some thought into it over the next week or so. We'd like to have you on the podcast next week. If you do win, we'd like to have the 2 people that are going into the finals and talk to them. And hopefully by then we'll have a more definitive answer as to where we potentially are going. We'll have a 50-50 pick, and we can kind of put our support behind one of you.
Yep.
Sweet.
That's the plan. All right, guys. We did have a high score this week. Nathan, congratulations, 183.48 points.
Oh man, I forgot to put on my Purdy jersey.
Yeah, that
third
helps.
time this year that Purdy was the highest scoring fantasy player on the highest scoring team. As a Niner fan, you guys got to be stoked about that. That's
Hell
pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, congratulations, Brock Purdy. Congratulations to you on your points. Yeah, I only wish it would help you. It could have helped you get into the playoffs, but it didn't.
It helped me do one thing though.
What's
It
that?
helped me to end a losing streak against Josh.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations, man. That's bigger that's the biggest thing that's happened to you this year.
Yeah, I snapped that curse.
Huge.
The curse is gone, Josh. So fuck you. It doesn't exist anymore. Now I'm gonna go back to whooping your ass every year like I usually do.
There you go.
Yeah, I finally beat
yeah.
him. So that
Maybe it's time to get like a hammer bet going with that guy.
Dude, I almost talked shit so many times to Josh this week. Like before the game started, I was going to talk shit, saying I'm going to end the curse. And then when I took a big lead, I almost talked shit. And both times I stopped myself and I was like, nope, just let it play out. So, I don't even know if Josh was paying attention, but I kicked his ass. I mean, it was like 180 to 80 or something. I mean, it was it was a massacre.
Nice. Well, way to get that monkey off your back. Way to go. All right. Bobby had the low score. We already kind of talked about that. He put up 80.12 points, and that was officially the low score of the season. So, there you go, Bob. Way to limp into the loser bowl. Or the loser. Wait. Yeah, the loser bowl. Costume bowl. Costume bowl, whatever.
Yeah. Wait. Here's the thing. I think we're confusing this. We can still call it a loser bowl.
Yeah,
it's not
you're
a
right.
dress bowl.
Yeah,
so it's still the loser bowl. Let's get back to loser bowl.
Yeah. Still the loser bowl. You're still a loser.
Yeah, still loser bowl. We got ourselves confused there for a minute.
I didn't get confused.
Now we know you're still a loser, so we're not.
Sounds like you guys are confused. I wasn't confused.
Well, it says costume bowl on the rundown, so I think there was a little confusion.
Maybe a little bit.
All right. Well, Bobby,
okay, so we didn't really rank. Do you guys have a favorite costume or dress or outfit or segment that's happened? I mean,
of all time?
Yeah. I mean, I think are we all at the same place?
Best punishment of all time?
Yeah.
Oh well, I think Ben and I probably both have the same answer.
Yeah, the calendar's got it.
Yeah, we're kind of partial to the calendar.
I mean, single season losing dress, costume, that kind of stuff. Because
that was a single season.
Calendar was for 3 losing seasons in a row, so that was an over the top. Okay, yeah. I was getting at was Ryan's get up your favorite one.
That was a good one.
Ryan's was a good one.
Well, Ryan, it's also about how much they lean into it, right? Like Ryan really leaned into that one. He was prancing around. He was jumping on the trampoline. I mean, it was awesome, and it was a really well done costume. So yeah, I think that one probably has to take the cake. I mean, I'm a little bit biased, but I loved seeing Justin in that dolphin costume last year. Just
the dolphin was
Dolphins
good.
fan.
The dolphin was so lethargic all day, though. Like there just wasn't a lot of energy coming out of that.
So. Well, he couldn't move. His legs were bound.
That's right.
You know what's funny is I never told you guys this, but the thing that he was wearing, the legs, is actually it's made for women to wear in the pool as like a mermaid costume.
Yeah.
And for a while there, I actually looked into buying like a little pool, like a little kiddie pool, and making him sit in the kiddie pool all day. But I actually checked with Launch Point, and they were like, no pools allowed. Otherwise, he was sitting in a pool during the draft. That would have been fun.
That's hilarious.
I was just going to say, before you said the no pools allowed, if we got that village again and we had a couple nice big inflatable pools right there, that would change a little bit for me. A little
Well,
bit.
it's funny. They say
That'd
no
be
pools
cool as hell.
allowed, but the reason I came up with the idea is, and it wasn't there in the village, but in another part of Launch Point, there was actually it was a summer we were there, and it was like 100+ degrees out, and there was a family right next to us, and they had a pool, and they filled it up, and they were like, "If your girls want to come in," and our kids jumped in. They were having a blast. So I've seen people do pools there,
Mhm.
but of course they have the rule, no pools allowed,
Yeah.
so we didn't risk it. But yeah, I agree, Matt. That would make it a lot more fun.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
What are your favorites, Matt? Just the Ryan's costume?
Ryan's costume. Josh's rabbit. If he would have
Yeah,
gone, if he would have gone in speedos, and really done the costume, that would have fucking rocked it. But he looks so
pervert.
weird with the shorts
Getting
on.
your
and
rocks
it
off
just-
on
it
him.
just- huh?
I was just recalling Adam calling you a pervert, getting your rocks off on
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
costumes.
yeah.
I said speedo. I didn't say naked. I didn't say like costume only.
Oh,
I
you know what would
think
be a good one though is the Borat costume with the Speedo bathing suit, the green one.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
I think since we've done the costumes, I think Ryan's probably my favorite. Justin's was good. I mean, Josh's was good. The bunny. I was gonna say that one, but I don't know, man. The calendar still is my favorite of all time, just
Of
because
course.
you got to see Justin in 12 different outfits, and
Yeah.
some of those outfits were are still my favorites, like the pilgrim on the like standing on the rock. I
Yeah.
think that was still one of my favorites. And then the Santa Claus, or the Christmas one,
The
where he's sitting there.
will work for fantasy
Yeah,
advice.
yeah. That one's good.
There was the loser and the champ. That was good.
Yeah, I like
maybe
that
we
one.
write something into our bylaws to say if you lose the loser bowl 10 times total, you have to remake the calendar. Like put it out there.
I say we just make the calendar like an annual event. Just do the calendar every year. That's it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun.
It would have been perfect if we did it with the 12. And if we go to 12 next year, we could each be a month, which would be funny.
Yeah, which is what we did that time. Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
each picked a month that one. Yeah.
Yeah, we each. Oh, you mean each of us be in the calendar and each be a month?
Yeah, put out our own degenerate calendar.
No.
Listen, Matt. Listen, you're shaking your head no.
So
but
this is going from somebody's punishment for losing 3 years in a row to now Ben like, let's all just do it for fun. No.
for funsies,
It's a
guys.
fucking punishment, dude. No. Fuck no.
Come on, Matt. This actually isn't a bad idea. We could sell them, on our website. The ordinary degenerate calendar. It's actually not a bad idea.
That's too funny. All right.
By the
guys,
way,
let's move-
there was one other thing that I wanted to point out with respect to the low score in the loser bowl, and that's that Adam won. So he's now won 2 of his last 3 games, and as we recall from a few weeks ago, we thought there was a real chance that he was going to break the all-time record for losses. And that's not the case anymore. He's now won his 3rd game of the year, which means Alex still holds the distinction of being the only team in league history to have a 2-win season. So congratulations,
Wow.
Alex, for
Nice.
keeping
Nice.
that record.
There
And
you go, Alex.
Adam is now tied with Josh, Sean again, and Joe as being 3-time losers, and he has a chance to win this week, or 3-time winners. He has a chance to win this week and get his name off the record book altogether. So good job, Adam, on the recovery. And I see that he is still picking up players off waivers, or at least he's dropping them. He dropped somebody a couple of hours ago. So, you know what? Even though he's out of the loser bowl, he's still engaged and participating, and maybe he's just trying to keep his name out of the record book.
There you go.
Good for
Way
you.
to go,
Good
Adam.
on you. Good on you.
Way to be adamant about that. I know. All right, let's move it on to it probably won't happen, but it'd be pretty fucking cool if it did, guys. This week's game, Saints versus Rams, at Rams, by the way. This is could be an interesting game. Could be some storylines here. Anybody want to go first?
Lots of storylines.
Yeah, I mean, they're both tied, I believe, at 7-7, right?
Yep.
And they're both on the playoff bubble.
playoffs.
Yeah. So I mean, the winner of this game potentially
I thought
could be.
I thought the Rams locked it up because Tampa Bay lost. Was that not the case?
Tampa Bay won.
Oh no! So who was it that Tampa Bay won, and so the other whoever Tampa Bay was playing
Okay, so I'll give you the answer. Only three
Yeah,
teams in
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
NFC have clinched. So the Niners,
Okay,
Cowboys, and Eagles have all clinched. Funny
okay,
enough, Cowboys and Eagles both clinched with the loss. Because previous to this weekend, the Niners were the only one that clinched. So you've got three teams in, and then you got a bunch of teams in the hunt. Now, as we know, 7 teams from each conference make the playoffs. The Rams are currently the 7 seed. The Saints are currently the 9 seed, and they're both tied at 7-7.
got it.
Along with the Seahawks also at 7-7. So it's a big game. The loser of this week's game on Thursday night is going to probably be out. The winner is going to be in, or not definitely in, but be in the catbird seat to make the playoffs. So there's a lot to play for on a Thursday night game.
All right, there you go.
And by the way,
I
the
guess,
Rams have looked good the last
yeah,
few
they have.
weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they they beat the Commanders this week, and yeah. So, all right, who wants to go first? Who wants to make their prediction right now?
I'll go. So I'm
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to go. The Saints are really good against wide receivers, except not in the slot. So I'm going to say this is the resurgence. This is a breakout. This is Cooper Cup's fucking week. 4 touchdowns. Probably won't happen,
Woo!
but it'd be pretty fucking cool if it did. I think he torches them in the slot.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. I was going to go along those same lines. I was going to say Cooper Cup, big game. I don't know if it's necessarily breakout because I think he's had 2 big games in a row already. But yeah, I'm going to have to think of something new. So, Ben, you go ahead.
All right. Well, I'll just go the other way because the Rams need to beat them. They need to have a big defensive game. So I'm going to go Rams hold the Saints to single digits and win this game.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So the Rams are going to have a big defensive play today or this week.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna be betting the over on this game this week. In fact, I think I already have the over in a parlay that is still live from Monday night. So I'll be betting the over. And last week, I had the over will hit by halftime, and I was right on that one. So you know what? Let's fucking ride that one again. The over will hit by halftime. Let's go.
Nice.
I want a big high scoring game.
Yeah.
And before we got off the subject of the Rams, I heard a Rams fan on the radio today saying, this is a Rams fan, saying that he hopes the Niners beat Baltimore and clinch the number 1 seed because he thinks the Rams' only chance of making the playoffs is if the Niners bench their starters in the final week of the season against the Rams. So we have Rams fans that are rooting for the Niners to clinch early because they think they can't beat us if we have our starters playing.
Okay.
All right. Well, none of us said it, but
Sam Darnold torches them.
It probably won't happen, but it'd be pretty fucking cool if it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to see a little Sam Darnold at the end of the game this week. I was in there.
No, not just at the end of the game. In the middle of the game, he came in when Brock Purdy got hurt, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
and he looked fucking horrible, which was
he threw the ball
hilarious.
so hard the receiver couldn't catch it. It's the receiver to better hands. He threw it so hard.
Yeah, I think he threw 2 passes. And he was in for 3 plays, threw 2 passes, and both of them were just fucking. One was too hard, and the other one sailed right over the guy's head. And that could have been just like nerves. He hasn't played in a while, other than coming in and kneeling down at the end of games. So
he played at the end of the game and he looked decent.
I will die on this hill. I said at the beginning of the year, I like Darnold. I'm happy he's on our team. At one point, I was saying, man, he might win the job this summer. Like him with Kyle Shanahan. I don't know. I still think it's a good fit. I'm with you, brother.
I was just saying he didn't look horrible at the end of the game when he came in. He looked okay. Like he was completing passes, completing swing passes, and
I hope he doesn't have to play at all.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. There is a scenario where Sam Darnold has a career resurgence in Kyle Shanahan's offense, and I hope we never find out.
Yeah.
I hope that never happens.
Yeah.
Poor Sam Darnold. All right. All right, let's move it on to last week's video. For Bobby's Can of Worms. Last time we saw the Christmas Carol, which was awesome. We got a lot of good reviews from it throughout the threads this week. So good on Megan and Bobby for that. That was really nice of you guys to send that. We really enjoyed it. Last week, we asked Bobby to give us his rendition of an Andy Kaufman video rendition of our song, of our Degenerates theme that he created. And we haven't got a video yet. We haven't got a submission, but I'm sure this is going to take some time.
Take your time.
Bobby's probably got to get into the whole character, which means he's I feel sorry for Megan because he's probably going to be Andy Kaufman, like full character Kaufman.
Oh, you think
for
he's
at
gonna
least
go? He's gonna go in like what's his name? Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Well, I think he has to, and Bobby's crazy enough to do it too.
Have
So
you seen that documentary?
Mm-mm.
There's a documentary that they
um,
made about, and I don't know if it's really a documentary, but Jim Carrey, when he was filming Man on the Moon, he
yeah,
got into such character, a method actor, that he never, anywhere he went, he was Andy Kaufman,
yeah,
right? For like
yeah, yeah,
whatever 3-4 months while they filmed it. Well,
yeah.
he actually had a film crew follow him around during that entire process, and then
Mm.
20 years later, put out a movie of that footage.
Mm.
And it's fascinating to go back and watch this stuff of like, and he was pissing people off because that's what Andy Kaufman did.
Yeah,
Pissing
yeah.
people off. Everybody on the set hated him. Nobody wanted to work with Jim Carrey during that movie making. I highly recommend go watch that
Okay,
movie.
I'll look
It's
that up.
fucking awesome. But
So funny.
speaking of his Andy Kaufman rendition, if you are still working on it, Bob, I thought about this after I suggested it because I said bongos with the,
Yeah, yeah.
but it would also be kind of cool to see him play the Degenerate song on a record player and do like the Mighty Mouse, the "Here it comes the silver." Hopefully, we'll get a combo of the two. I don't
A
know.
combo of the two, that would be great. Oh wow. Well, we look forward to it, Bob, when you can get it to us. We got a couple more weeks of this podcast. And if not, maybe we open next season with it. I don't know. But we can't wait to see it, Bobby. So get it to us. For Bobby's Can of Worms. All right, guys, we're gonna move it into our Thunder round. Yes, and last week we switched it up a little bit and we tried to pick outside the top 10, and it proved to be a little more difficult, as they say. And Matt, congratulations on the win this week, 45 points. Nathan got 39. I ended up with 26. Picking my own players on my team obviously didn't help.
Either team.
Either team. So I will not be doing that again. But yeah, let's go for it. This week we're gonna do the same thing. Pick outside the top 10. Nathan, I'll let you go first. Pick with your quarterback. Go for it. Do we?
So this is tough because Matt gave us a hard time last week. He said, "Oh, you can't pick anybody out in the top 10. You're going to pick 11, aren't you?" Well, 11 this week is Lamar Jackson, which you would think, fuck, Lamar Jackson, of course, I'm going with the 11th guy. But he's playing against the Niners. And not only is that a tough defense, and I don't want to pick a quarterback going against the Niners. So I'm going to go down the list a little bit. And in fact, I think I'm going to go down a lot of it. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the Thursday night game, which I just predicted was going to be a high score. And I'm going to take, not Matt Stafford, Derek Carr.
Ooh, wow.
Derek Carr against the Rams. All right.
Interesting.
I mean, although I just predicted the Rams were going to shut them down and they were going to get no single digits. So
Yeah.
clearly picking against me. All right, Matt, you're up next. Who are you going to go with?
Well, I mean, I guess I gotta go with the guy that I just called out. Yeah, I'll take the other side of that. Go on Stafford.
All right, Stafford. Yeah, because you just said Cup's going to be catching 4 touchdowns. So you got to put your money where your mouth is. I think I will go. Oh wow! I don't want to go there. Ugh, this is ugly. Joe Flacco against Houston.
There you go.
I like it.
That's where I'm going.
Had 2
somebody
good
like
weeks and
Flacco-
then threw 3 or 4 picks last week.
Yeah, but I mean, he still got you 18 points, which was,
Yep.
Yeah,
not that bad for
Not
this.
bad.
I mean, like
Not
double what
bad.
Howell got for Ben.
exactly. All right, Matt, you're up with running backs.
All right, the first available guy is Achan, excuse me.
Wait, we're in top 10 projected.
Outside the top 10.
Yeah.
Week 16 projected top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the top guy available is
1,
Achan.
2,
Gibbs is
3,
Achan.
4, 5, 6.
All right,
Why do I have Achan at? Not wait, hold on. How am I searching this wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Week
6,
16,
7.
running backs all.
Yeah, he's at 7. Achan's at 7 in my list. How's that possible?
Are you on the app?
Oh, I'm on the app.
Okay, yeah, that's
So am
probably what it
I,
is.
but 8 chain is 10. Okay, this is great podcasting, guys.
I just want to make sure we're picking from the same list, so I don't,
So
Yeah,
what I'm
alright.
going to do is I'm going to drop down just a little bit and take Derrick Henry playing at home against Seattle.
All right.
All right. Who I just said was Dust. You're picking him in this. All right. That shows what you think of my prognostications. All right, Ben. Who you taking?
I'm gonna go Mostert against Dallas.
Okay. So
Touchdown
Matt
machine.
took a player who I think is Dust. You're taking 30-year-old Mostert. You know what? I'm going to go along with the theme, guys. I'm taking another running back who's Dust. I'm taking Zeke.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's not dust. He looks good.
He's looking
He
great.
looks great.
Well, he did 2
All right.
weeks ago. Last week he was just okay.
Yeah, he was just okay against
yeah.
Denver this week. So yeah, that should be good for you. All right, wide receivers, and I'm on the app, so it might be a different list than you guys are going with. I have 2,
Rasheed Rice is the
4,
first guy you can take.
6, 8, 10. I got Rasheed Rice at 10 for me. So, I'm gonna go. Well, how can I not take the guy who's gonna catch 4 touchdowns this week? I'm gonna take Matt Stack and go Cooper
Oh,
Kupp.
brother.
Yeah,
Cooper Kupp?
yeah,
Is he
yeah,
available? Sheesh, he is available, huh? All right.
Yeah,
They got Nakua higher than Cup on these projections. These
Yeah.
guys are idiots.
yeah. Nate, you're up.
Oh, it's me? Okay. Well, shit. I think, you know who's due for a rebound game, has not had a good game lately, is Stephon Diggs. I don't know what's going on over there, but Stephon Diggs is due.
Stephon Diggs is not available, dude. He's in the top
Oh, is
10.
he too high on the list?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
you're
on,
right.
yeah, he's like
Rasheed
7.
Rice is the first guy.
You got Devontae
You picked number 6.
Smith, Waddle, Ayuk, Addison.
I forgot
You know
the
what?
rules,
I'll
guys.
just take the number 1 guy.
Yeah, I forgot the rules. Is my boy available? My stack with Carr over there?
Olave?
Olave's available, but
Yeah,
I
he's
would
coming off
assume
the,
so.
the
he's
injury,
coming off
right?
injury, isn't he?
That's a tough one.
Debo, Ayuk, Addison, Metcalf,
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson. You got Zay Flowers there.
Yeah,
Waddle.
you know what? I'm gonna go on Monday
Somebody
night.
said
I'm gonna go
something
Debo.
about Somebody said something about Waddle having a good game, didn't they?
He did
Yeah.
last week because Hill was
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Well, if he's going to be out again,
All right, so I am going to I'm going to go take the man, the motherfucking best, Mr. Debo Samuel.
he just
You know
took
what?
Debo.
I just took Debo, but I'm gonna let
Did
you have
you?
him.
I couldn't hear you then.
No, it's okay. Go ahead and take him.
No, you
Hey,
got him.
Earlier on in the podcast, predicted that somebody would be a top 3 wide receiver, and he's not in the top 10 here. So I would like to switch mine to T. Higgins. You can have Debo.
Oh, there you go. T.
Well, if you're going to switch yours, no, yeah. I honestly showed you how much I listen to you. God damn it, sorry, dude.
Yeah.
I was reading the list, not even paying attention.
All right, Nate, read them off for us because that got a little discombobulated.
Yeah, no problem. So I got Carr in a super high scoring game.
Yeah.
On a Thursday, as they always are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got Dusty Zeke and I got Higgins. Matt has Stafford, Dusty Henry, and Debo. And Ben, you have Dusty Flacco, Mostert, and Cup.
Why not Dusty Mostert? He's old.
Dusty. I got
Well,
double Dusty.
You could argue that's a triple Dusty right there. Flacco,
Yeah.
Mostert, Cup.
That's true.
And he finally got a new nickname for the pod, Dusty.
Dusty.
What up, Dusty?
Well, guys, good luck. I really badly need to win these next 2 weeks, or I'm completely out of this. So hopefully, my Flacco pick will pay off. Oh man, yeah, this was fun. This was a fun podcast, guys. We got one more of these probably coming up this season. Maybe we'll do one after the championship to talk to the winner of the winner of the season in all the leagues. If we can get them all on, that'd be
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
So we'll try and effort that. And then, yeah, what do you guys got going on this weekend? Anything special?
Dude, if we do get all the winners together, let's do everything at the same time. Do a big round table. Just sit around, chat, kind of thing.
Yeah, we can try. We can try and do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody's in the playoffs in all the leagues. Well, obviously in the side league, we got some people that are repetitive compared to. But yeah, that'll be fun. We'll even include the guillotine. Whoever wins that, we'll
Sure
do a little round table.
Sure.
Let me give you my underdog of the week, which, by the way, for like the second week in a row, it smashed last night. I had Seattle against the Eagles.
Nice.
Matt, I think you agreed with me on that one, and that was a big one. God, what a fucking ending to that game. And by the way, I put my money where my mouth was. I had 2 bets just on Seattle, and then I also threw them in a couple of parlays, which are still live because they were Monday through Thursday or Monday through Saturday parlays. So I put my money where my mouth was. That was a nice ending to that game. This week, I'm going to take another underdog, but this time they're on the road. I'm taking the Browns against the Texans. That's my underdog smash of the week.
Nice. Very cool.
Interesting.
All right. Well, we'll see how that pays off. You're on a hot streak, so, keep it going.
Yeah.
What are you guys' plans for this weekend? Anything special going on?
Well, there's this little thing called Christmas. That's
not till Monday. So
we are having a Christmas party at my house on Saturday night. Portia does one for her family every year. That's always a fun one. Her brother comes into town. Portia and her brother, when they get together, they always plan a bunch of fun games, and everybody gets into it. All the senior citizens are doing like egg tosses and fun stuff like that. So that's a lot of fun. The kids get involved. So yeah, that'll be a Saturday night, and then just Christmas festivities after that.
Nice.
Do they mind? Do you refer to them as senior citizens in front of them?
No, actually, Portia and Peter call them oldies. Okay. They say we got to get the oldies.
That's way better. That sounds better than senior citizens.
Yeah, because oldies.
I thought I was being respectful by not saying oldies on this podcast. So
everybody loves the oldies. Yeah. You know what I mean? Rocking to the oldies. I mean, everybody loves the oldies. All right. Well, that sounds like you guys.
How about you, brother? What do you got going this weekend?
I'm off this weekend. Gonna be hanging out with the family. Christmas Eve, doing stuff with Anna. Probably she'll come over and hang out with us. And then Saturday or Monday's Christmas, and then hopefully Monday night, Christmas night, I'll be at Nathan's house watching the Niners.
Yes,
kicking the shit out of Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
You better come, man. You're celebrating Christmas in Placentia with Debbie's mom. You're right down the street here. There's no reason for you not to come, at least for the second half.
If I can get dinner done in enough time to be there for the second half, I will do that. That is my plan.
You gonna check out any Christmas lights, Ben?
Yes, we're doing that sometime this week. That's the goal. We have a couple more days to fit it in. But yeah, we usually do it like right around this time every year.
You do it right around Christmas time?
Well, I meant this week. We do it in November. We usually do it in November.
There's nobody there in July. Nobody's there in July.
Look. We respect the people who put them up early. So that's when we go out and support them. We're like, fuck all the December 27th guys who
I think we're gonna try and do that on Christmas Eve. Our usual Christmas Eve plans got canceled this year, so we got a free night. Maybe head down to the big one that's over there in Brea.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. That was always a fun one when we lived out there. We'd always go check that one out.
So did you guys ever do, and I always forget if it's Christmas or New Year's, did you guys ever do the Balboa boat parade? I used to love doing that.
I've never done it personally.
It's so much fun, dude. So much fun to see those boats out there.
With the lights and everything?
Oh, yeah. It's fun to take the kids to. We did it a couple years.
No, I'll have to check that out maybe.
Yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, that sounds like we all have some good plans. Matt, did you tell us what you're doing?
I didn't, but I haven't done any Christmas shopping yet, so I'll do a little bit of that this weekend.
Oh, okay.
No, man, just hanging out. I set the office schedule this week at a 5.5 day weekend. We're doing our Christmas party Thursday. Be out of there by noon, and then the next 5 days off. So I don't know, man. Just whatever I want to do.
Sweet.
Go chop down a tree, build something in the backyard.
There you go.
I did get a bunch of mushrooms.
There you go. Now
there you go. All right, man. You're a fun guy this weekend, it sounds like. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's it. That's a wrap on this week's podcast, the Ordinary Fantasy Pod. See you next week, guys.
See ya.